Hi, my name is Mazzy Mayhem, and welcome to Pretty and Dangerous, my little corner of the internet where I gossip about fictional characters and rant about society. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with romance, or maybe I just love to hate in general. And I also feel like I didn't really have a normal childhood, and I didn't get to experience normal childhood, girlhood, teenage things, and I'm making up for it now. Maybe some of you can relate, or maybe some of you just want to relive your own childhoods. Either way, this is our little space where we can do whatever we want. So, get cozy and let's dive into the drama. So before we actually get into today's topic, I want to do a quick check up on everybody, a little bit of housekeeping. How's everybody doing? Really, I just want to talk about my birthday because a week ago today I turned 23. Wow. Like I don't feel any different, to be honest. I have no idea what my mental age is, by the way. But I don't feel 23. Like, I just don't identify with that at all. Maybe it's going to take some time to get used to. I don't know. Um, but for all my Aquarius babies, hey, I'm an Aquarius. And I love being Aquarius. It's why I feel like I'm better than everyone else. Um, But yeah, so it was my birthday. I turned 23. It was cute. I had a cute little celebration at home. Didn't really do too much. My mom made cinnabuns. Like they're actually delicious. Do you feel me? Like they are so good. I wish we had a cinnabuns in the UK. Like I really, really wish we had a cinnabuns in the UK. British people don't understand. Like, you actually don't understand. Petition to bring Cinnabons to the UK, please. Unless we might have one in London, maybe. But other than that, the rest of the UK is missing out big time. Um, but yeah, so my mom made Cinnabons. I brought a board game. It was a Jane Austen board game that I saw in Waterstone because I was looking at new books, obviously. And I saw a Jane Austen board game, and I was like, I have to get that. Are you crazy? Basically, what you do in the board game is you go to balls and you find different suitors to marry, and each suitor has like points and a certain amount of money and all of that. And the aim of the game is it's not the best game in the world, but it was pretty fun. The aim of the game is to obviously collect the most points, and you can either choose to do that by getting married and marrying a rich man, or you can become a woman of independent mind, which is obviously the route that I went. Um, but it's harder to get points if you do the independent mind route, just because there's only one way to get points, but other players are going to use that one way as well, even if they're not trying to become a woman of independent mind. But they have multiple ways to get points, so it's very hard to win by becoming a woman of independent mind. I don't know, we'll see. I might try and bag a man next time. But all the men that I picked up anyway, I was like, I don't want you. You look ugly and there's not enough dough, so no thanks. So even if I did want to bag a suitor, I didn't even want to dance with these guys. I was like, are you serious? No thanks. But yeah, anyway, that's how my birthday went. I didn't win, but yeah, it was fun. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a fun game, and the game board is so cute. All the cards are so cute. You play as Jane Austen characters from books. I haven't read a Jane Austen book, by the way. I don't want to hear it. Um, they sound that they're supposed to be like the classic books of romance, if not classic themselves, but they just sound boring to me. I need fantasy. Like I need fantasy. Um But yeah, so but it was so fun to play. I felt like I was a Bridgerton girl. I felt like Eloise from Bridgerton, not gonna lie. But yeah, very fun, very cutesy. Anyway, how's you guys? Anybody else my birthday twin, by the way? 25th of January. 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 Hello girls. Hey, I see you. Yeah. How are you guys? Good. That's great. We can now dive into our topic. Okay, so one thing about me that you're gonna have to get used to is I am late to everything because I do everything on my time because I'm Aquarius. Okay? We're gonna get that out way early. And I'm probably gonna keep reminding you of this fact just in case anybody says, hey, that was ages ago, that happened ages ago. Not in my world, it didn't. Okay? Please and thanks. With that being said, I watched Frankenstein with my family the other day. Great movie. So that's what we're gonna be talking about. We're talking about Frankenstein. Getting our Frankenweenie on. um, yeah. So much to say, much to talk about and discuss. Um, so yeah, let's get into it, I guess. First and foremost, let's talk about Jacob Elordi because girls like him. The girls really do like him. Um, Me personally, I think he's a great actor. I've seen some of the things that he's in, like I've seen Euphoria, I've seen Saltburn. I've also seen him in the movie Priscilla, where he plays Elvis Presley. Great movie, great acting. I just don't really see the appeal. Like I get that he's objectively attractive. I just don't find him attractive personally. That's just a me thing. Maybe it's because he's a white man with no lips and I think white men with no lips are evil, but I don't know. I just don't know. And I'm allowed to say that, by the way, because I'm a white woman with no lips. Okay, thanks. Um yeah, I just don't know. Like I don't really find a lot of men attractive, to be honest. Like, I don't really ever look at men and think, wow, he's hot. That doesn't happen often at all, especially not with real men. Are you crazy? No. And I've been like this my whole life. I have never really found men on screen or in real life that attractive. Um, I do sometimes, annoyingly, but it just doesn't happen very often. And usually, men that the girl, I was gonna say usually men that the girls are like, oh my god, he's so hot. I'm like, is he though? But sometimes I do get it. Like sometimes I do really get it when the girls are like that, and other times I'm like, I actually don't really see it at all. And that's just personal taste and preference. However, now I'm about to say something that might be a little that might not be comfortable putting on the internet just yet, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When Jacob Elordi is a monster, he kind of gives, and maybe it's because he's got long hair. Because when he does have that hair, the cunt level goes up like 10 levels, and I'm like, he does kind of eat though. Like he does let cunt though. He is giving though. Like and I don't even know if it's like the creature's mannerisms or just that the creature is kind of good looking. I don't know. And to be honest, it's not my fault that I find a bunch of dead bodies sewn together attractive because that's what he's supposed to be. And don't clip that and take it out of context, anybody. Nobody watches these videos. I'm just saying. Okay, just in case somebody does. What was I saying? It's not my fault I find that attractive. Like, and I know y'all find it attractive too. So I guess we're all in this together, you freakazoids. But yeah, he is actually like, I kind of get what the girls are saying now when he's not supposed to be a human being, when he's supposed to be a creature. I find him attractive. I think that says more about me than it does anything else. But I had to get that out of the way before we talk about anything else to do with this movie, because obviously that is the elephant in the room. Like, for sure, that's the elephant in the room. Um, I do think a lot of it has to do with like the way the creature behaves. Like, I don't know what that triggers in me, but it triggers something. Okay, and I'm not even sure I'm ready to admit to myself what it triggers in me. Okay, the movie starts, and I think you see some men who are like on some kind of expedition in the North Pole on a boat, and they're stuck in the ice. Um, Which, by the way, when did we stop sending men off to explore the North Pole and to explore Antarctica so they can get lost in the snow and never to return? When did we stop doing that? Methinks we should do that again. Methinks we should pretend that there's some like great prize if a bunch of men go off somewhere and never come back. You know? Like, methinks that should be brought back. Methinks we should send them back out there and hopefully they don't come back alive. Catch my drift? Anyway, this is when we see Victor Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster for the first time. And Frankenstein's monster is obviously chasing Frankenstein, and he's like trying to get away from him, and the people on the boat help Victor, and nobody really understands what the creature is yet. And then Victor starts telling his story, and the story starts where he's a little boy. So we get to see some like childhood trauma play out with Victor's dad, who was an asshole, by the way. I hate dads in movies. Like, they are always, especially boy dads in movies, they are always the most annoying, useless, spineless, root of all evil men on the planet. And it's like, if that guy had just been a better person, the story would have gone so much differently. Like, I genuinely believe that. Can we just make good father figures, please? For especially for young boys, like, what is wrong with you all? It's even the movies you can't even get it right. Anyway, so as a kid, Victor's dad was a little bit strange. He kind of abused him and his mom and was very controlling. Like, it mentions like he was the typical man of the house where um nobody moved without him saying so, without his knowledge type BS. I don't know. And he was clearly very strict on Victor. And they shove a little bit of misogyny in there. But it's obviously it is done in a way where it's like it's calling out misogyny, which is great. And what I would expect of a movie at this time. Because we are so far beyond actual misogyny movies. Like, I wouldn't be watching it if that was the case. Or maybe I would watch it, but I'd give it a stinking review. Telling you that now. Just because it's garbage if it's got that in it. I nearly swore, and I'm still not sure whether I can swear or not. But yeah, like Victor's telling his story. It starts at his childhood. You see like um certain things about his childhood which kind of makes a little bit of sense later, but then at the same time it's like, okay, your crap childhood is not an excuse for you to be crap later on in life. Like, at some point, grow up, please. And whilst Victor is telling his story, like it flashes back to him telling the story a couple of times, which I think is so funny because it's like, um, he's just telling the story as if the creature isn't outside killing people. Like, and the guy's like, yeah, tell me more. I need to know more. What's the tea? What's the goss? Gag. Like, it's just kind of wild to me, to be honest. Like, it's like they have all the time in the world, to sit here and just gossip about life is a little bit what it gave me. Like, I just thought it was kind of funny. People keep knocking on the door, like the the creatures outside, and it's like the guy's like, "Can you guys give me like 5 more minutes? I need to hear the rest of the story." Like, God. Meanwhile, the creature's literally slaughtering people outside the door. It's funny, like it's so funny. Anyway, back to Victor's abusive father. And um, because he has an abusive father, he obviously has a strange attachment to his mother. And I feel like this is just like what if you've ever had an abusive ex, this probably sounds very familiar to you. I know it does to me. Abusive father, strange attachment to mother, hates women. It's pretty much the blueprint. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And if that is the case with your man, get out. Get out now. Because it's just not gonna end well. I promise you it's not gonna end well. I can foresee into the future. If that man has an abusive father and a strange, weird attachment to his mother, get out now. That's that's all you need to know. And eventually, I think, how does it go? Victor's mom falls pregnant, and it's not like the great and easiest pregnancy, and I think she ends up dying like during childbirth. And his dad is very like unfeeling and sympathetic towards it. And I think Victor ends up hating his dad and blaming his dad for his mom's death. And is anyone surprised that that's what makes a man think he can now create life eventually? I'm kind of not, because men are that egotistical. Crazy. So from that point onwards, he's like, I will become the best doctor in the world or the best scientist or whatever to outsmart his dad and like become more powerful than his dad is really what he wants. To kind of show his dad that uh you thought you could control everything, and you thought you could control life and death. Well, it's me who can control life and death. Is kind of what I think about that. Which makes me think, what actually is it with men and their obsession with controlling things? Because that is a massive theme to this movie. Like, it's a huge thing. Why do men think that they can control everything? And why do they need to? Like, I get it on one level, but I'm just like, can you guys just sit down and shut the fuck up for 5 minutes, please? Sometimes I swear and I'm like, it just comes out, and I don't know if I can, but it is what it is. And then other times I like catch myself doing it and stop myself from doing it, and other times I just say it. So no consistency from me. Um, but yeah, like men really do think the world revolves around them, and to me, this movie is like such a good depiction of the patriarchy and how the patriarchy actually destroys men, symbolically in the way like the story and how the events unfold. Obviously, men in real life haven't managed to create life, but um, you could just take that as a metaphor for having children, if you will, you know? Um, and how a lot of men actually approach fatherhood, like Victor Frankenstein's father, um, because when, like, Victor hates his father. He hates his father. He blamed his father for his mother's death. But then, as soon as he creates the creature, he turns into his controlling, abusive father immediately, thinking that as soon as he's created life, which is how a lot of men view having children, that he's created this being to do what he wants, basically. And the second the creature doesn't perform, he kind of rejects it. And a lot of men do this to their actual children, which is, I think, kind of like a little bit of irony or like symbology and a metaphor really for fatherhood. Um, and that men don't have like an attachment to children the same way women do in that sense. Well, not all men, but some men genuinely believe having children is like an extension of themselves, and that when that child doesn't perform the way they want it to, it's a like hit to their self-esteem basically. Frankenstein sees the creature as like a testament of his intelligence and his abilities, and when the creature can't perform or isn't as intelligent as Victor wants him to be, he rejects him and shuns him and basically abuses him from the beginning, because of that very reason. And when you think about it, that is how a lot of men treat their children, especially their sons. And I think you can, even within the movie, like place parallels between the way Victor's father treated him and the way that Victor treats the creature. And they obviously make this like parallel. The movie makes this parallel itself very obvious, especially by the end of the movie. But I just think it's very interesting, to be honest. That as well as men thinking that they control everything leads to, especially in that time period, like the 1800s, when especially white men had like this godlike complex that they thought that they were god. Yeah, I just find it kind of strange how men think in a way. Like, because it's one thing to have these ideas like mentioned and critiqued in media and movies, like in the movie Frankenstein, which I think we need to do. Like conversations need to happen around these things, but it's another thing when you actually meet a man in real life who kind of thinks like this, like genuinely thinks the world revolves around him and that he is God and that everybody, especially women, should worship the ground he walks on. I think not. Let me humble you real quick. But to me, it's just like you can't even control when you need to go to the toilet or not. You can't even control your bladder. Yet for some reason you think you're controlling this. For some reason you think you're significant in all of this, as in the universe. Yeah, I think not. Humble yourself, please. That's why it's just funny to me. I can't help but laugh at people and men who are like that. Like you're actually a joke. It's actually funny and it's actually embarrassing because it's all just bluster. Usually men like that are the weakest in body and mind, in my opinion. And I can smell it. Like I can smell a weak dog come in. And that's what those men think of, weakness. Um, and that's just facts, because usually they are. Usually they're the first to cower to anybody else who even shows an ounce of anything. But they yap the most, which is the craziest. But it's actually just embarrassing when you think about it. In conclusion, both Victor's father and Victor seriously, seriously irritate me in the movie. And they're supposed to, and that's how I know that the actors are amazing actors and that the story writing for those characters was spot on, because those characters are supposed to really irritate you. Also, the actor that plays Victor, another man that a lot of ladies were into, and I was just not like, I get that he's objectively handsome and attractive, but he's just like he just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Maybe he's too old. I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. I'm just never willing to give a man an inch, to be honest, ever. Like never. Um yeah, that's my two thoughts and 2 cents on that. Like, I just don't. But that's the actor. Back to the characters. A- Amazing actor. I can't stand Victor Frankenstein. Like, I actually despise him. I hate seeing a man be a man. Like, genuinely, I hate. Like, it's just. Ugh. On a more positive note, though, I loved Mia Goth's character. Like, everything about her. Elizabeth. Honestly, I thought like she was an amazing character, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Just first of all, I just love Mia Goth, but Elizabeth as a character, amazing, honestly. Um I love the scene where Victor's at the dinner table with Elizabeth's uncle and Victor's brother, because Elizabeth and Victor's brother are engaged and that's how they met. And he's talking about his ideas at the dinner table. like, like he's literally just jabbering away, like just talking really obnoxiously and almost like shouting at the dinner table, like just being really arrogant and obnoxious, to be honest. And the whole way through watching that scene, me and my sister were just looking at each other like, oh, why is this man talking about his ideas? Like, nobody cares. Why does man have thoughts? Like, shut up. Honestly, like, be seen and not heard. I can't stand a man with ideas. Shut up. Just shut up. Anyway, she just cuts him off and, like, um, challenges him and proves her point. Like, she challenges his point, and then, like, they go on to have, like, an exchange and a conversation, and then she disproves his point, proves her own point, and tells him to run back to his bourbon and his whiskey along with the other boys. Like, period. It's just, honestly, it was such a funny moment in the movie, like golden, to be honest. And she does it in a way that's like there's no point in talking any further or discussing this any further with her, because she actually just doesn't care. She clearly thought he was kind of stupid and arrogant, and she doesn't really like him, which is funny because he seems to think she does. I mean, typical man, am I right? I'm right. Yeah, I just loved Elizabeth as a character so much. Not to mention her fashion, like the dresses this bitch wears in the movie. Like, I don't know what it is, but just the colors and the style of the dresses, so pretty. Um, yeah, I just really like the whole thing. To be honest, the fashion, the outfits in the whole movie was really good. Like, for everybody, sorry about that, for everybody, specifically and most importantly, the creature and Elizabeth. But some of the men, they do wear like cunty little suits and shirts. I can't lie to you. Like, it's given. It is given. That's what it's given. It's given some. I'm not entirely sure what, but it's given something. Um, Another funny scene with Elizabeth in it is when Victor sees her going into the church, and then he like stalks her for a second and does a hop, skip, and a jump and hides behind the pillar and like pretends to be a priest in the confessional. Um, and he's like trying to get her to say something, but she clocks him and catches him out red-handed. Like, man got caught in 4K. That is embarrassing. I don't know how he shows his face to her after that. Like, I also don't know why she doesn't bully him for it, because I would have. I'd be like, "The hell are you doing? Are you for real? Like, be so serious right now." Like, I don't know. I just, I just don't like him. I find his character embarrassing. Like, I would spend the entire, like, if I was Elizabeth and I met somebody like Victor Frankenstein, I would spend every interaction with him taking the piss. I'm not joking. I would take the piss out of him relentlessly, because you've got to establish that hierarchy with these kinds of men, and I am always on top. No pun intended. Ignore that. But yeah, And to be honest, like, I just think he needs more shame. Like, just constantly taking the piss out of him, to be honest. And somehow you want me to believe that man is intelligent and smart. No. Actually, usually smart men are freak weirdos, like, and I don't mean that in like a cute way. I mean freak weirdos. Or maybe that's just because they're men and society labeled freak weirdos as intelligent. I don't know, to be honest. It could be either way, if we're being for real. But what I do know for sure is that Elizabeth reminds Victor Frankenstein of his mom in some way, and that's why he's kind of obsessed with her because he's got mommy issues, and for some reason she's giving mother to him. I'm not entirely sure what's going on over there because it's not really my thing, but my thing is creatures and men who look like monsters apparently. But his things is women that look like his mom. um there's definitely some stuff to unpack there. I don't really want to, because men who have mommy issues are scary. And to be honest, you can unpack that yourselves if you want in the comment section. But I do know for sure that it's some Freudian stuff going on with Victor Frankenstein specifically because it is one sided. There isn't really anything that Elizabeth does that kind of indicates that she likes Victor back. She's just being like cordial with him because he's her fiance's brother. Let's not forget. Okay? Um she does, however, like the creature. Like she definitely she knows what I know about the creature. Like she sees what I see. And I think maybe that's why I also like her. Like she's a woman who gets it, you know? Like she looks at Victor Frankenstein, she's like, and she looks at the creature and she's like, yeah, that's a smack if I ever saw one. You know? Anyway. But what is going on definitely for sure is that Victor Frankenstein has a thing for his mom. Is basically what I'm saying. And Elizabeth triggers it. Mommy issues. Yeah. And the fact that he confesses to her when she's gonna get married to his brother, wild. Like this man truly only thinks about himself. Like for sure, when boys grow up with abusive fathers, it teaches them to think about no one but themselves. That is Victor Frankenstein does not think about anybody else or how his actions will affect anybody else but himself. He doesn't care about Elizabeth. He doesn't care about his brother. He didn't care about Elizabeth's uncle, whom he raisingly killed. He doesn't care about the creature. The life form which he created, by the way, doesn't care about. Didn't care about his father. I mean, you could argue maybe that he cared about his mother, but she died a long time ago. He doesn't care who his actions affect or how they affect them. He just cares about himself and satisfying his own needs and desires. Typical man. But yeah, I'm just like, bro. Anyway, he's kind of wild. And that's just another reason why he pisses me off. But yeah. Speaking of wild, are we going to talk about the bath scene? Hello? Are we gonna talk about the bath scene? The girls were going crazy because what's the actor's name? Um, I feel like it's Isaac something, but I can't actually remember his name. I'm really bad with celebrity names, by the way. I just tend to call celebrities by the name of the character they play that I first see them play. Like, what's his name isn't his name, it's Jack Sparrow. Do you get what I mean? Like, that guy from Teen Wolf is not Teen Wolf. It is not. I don't know his name. It's just Styles. That's his name. That's what I call him. I call him styles because that's easier to remember. And I don't know, come for me or don't. I don't really care. I just I call people by their character names, but I'm sure his name is Isaac something. But I might be making that up totally. Anyway, back to what we're actually talking about. The girls have gone wild because he's basically in the bath, and you can basically, if he shifted a little bit, you could basically see a lot. A lot is what you could see. Like, but I can't understand why the girls were going wild and feral over it. Like, if I was attracted to him, I would also be going wild and feral. If that scene had happened to the creature, I'd be going wild and feral too. Just saying. But and we're not going to skip past the fact that he basically gets out of the bath butt naked and then starts messing around with dead bodies. I told you he was a freak weirdo. Like, he's butt naked and he's chopping up dead bodies. Is this is this guy okay? It is a very thin line between madness and genius, and he is mad. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, I just cannot get over the fact that he's messing around with dead bodies naked. We're not just gonna skip past that. We're not. But naked, and you're just hacking up dead bodies and sewing them back together, creating your son. I mean, I guess that's how it happens naturally. But like, he's literally there with his like breeze to his cheeks, waiting for somebody to take him. I'm like, imagine the creature woke up then and there. I was like, that's a nice chunk of ass. You don't know. Hello? Like, wild things could have happened. Like, anything could have happened realistically when you think it. Like, it's just crazy. And like, there was definitely something severely wrong with him. Another thing I couldn't get over is he spends however long he spends working on the creature and like perfecting the creature's body and whatever, and then he clambers into bed fully clothed, butcher outfit on and all, leather gloves on and all, in the bed. I can't. People, hello, I can't. Do you wanna know how angry it makes me when people get in bed with their outdoor clothes on, let alone an outfit they spent all day grubbing around dead bodies, and then you're gonna get in bed? Freak. Freak. Like, sick freak. I don't know. I just can't. Like, I just cannot with him. How do you fall asleep with trousers on and gloves? How the hell do you fall asleep with leather gloves on? I just. He's definitely the monster. Like 100%. 100%. And to be honest, I absolutely, in case you couldn't tell, I just hate the way Victor Frankenstein treats the creature. Like, it, when you break it down, it's just so abusive and wrong. And like, I just, like, the fact that it's a creature, first of all, dehumanizes him. And that's why Victor Frankenstein gets away with treating him the way that he does. But if you humanize him for a second, so the creature just symbolizes anybody who's othered in society, and by othered I mean not a straight white male. Um, and like, when you view it through that lens, that the creature is just a symbol for anybody who doesn't fit straight white male, the way that he treats him is just, it's so bad. Like, in reality, um like, I just hate it. the fact that he first of all chains him up, um he starts to get abusive when he thinks that the creature is of the low intelligence, or not as intelligent as him, even though Victor Frankenstein doesn't put any effort into teaching the creature anything. Like, it's like he expects the creature to already know. And back to what I was saying about fathers and children, is a lot of fathers treat their children like this, that like they expect their kids to already know things like manners and respect, or to already know, like be able to do things, to already be able to achieve the thing the father should have achieved but didn't, so now he's expecting his son to do it. And when they don't, they act like you're some kind of invalid, and that's just crazy to me. Like, genuinely, I can't unsee it. Like, I can't unsee the relationship between the creature and Victor Frankenstein, other than like an allegory or a metaphor for like bad fathers to sons, if that makes sense. Like the way that so many fathers of the past and so many past generations of fathers have failed their children, not just their sons, but their children in general. But specifically, I think it's okay if we zoom in on sons in this instance. But yeah, I just can't see past that. And also, in my opinion, why wouldn't you make friends with the creature? Like, you could have had. Like, this is why freaking Victor Frankenstein is dumb to me. Like, you're so intelligent that you can create life, but you're so dumb because you don't know what to do with it. You don't know what to do when you create life. That's why men are not meant to be God. Like, God was definitely a woman, because I would have not, even if he wasn't as intelligent as I would have wanted, but I would have never have thought about it like that in the first place because I'm not a friggin' man. But, and this is why men can't create life. This is why they don't get that, because they're tapped in the head. Um, like, that's the perfect chance to make the best friend of your life. Like, hello. And I mean, like, this is a little bit like manipulative and a little bit coercive, but like, the creature would have been Victor's best friend if Victor had treated it kindly. Like, I just don't understand why he didn't. And first of all, the creature is like so strong, and like, if you wanted to, you could have used that to benefit you. Like, even in the twisted mind of a man, like, how did you not see, I could benefit from having somebody like this on my side, somebody like this being my friend, somebody like this loving me. Like, I just don't get it. Like, and to be honest, like, because in the end, all the creature wants is love. That is all the creature wants by the end, is somebody to love. And how hard would it have been if Victor had just given him that from the beginning? Like, why couldn't he just, like, Victor is so stupid, like, so incredibly stupid, because the creature wasn't violent by nature. The creature became violent because, first of all, everything that it came across treated him violently, except for that old man in the cabin who was nice to him and taught him so many things. And guess what? The creature loved him. The creature really liked that old man. And that old man really liked the creature, even though the old man couldn't really see what the creature was. But he showed him compassion and kindness, and the creature liked him. As for everybody else the creature comes across, they treat him like he's some kind of abomination, some kind of monster, and they treat him with hatred and cruelty. And that's where the creature learns hatred and cruelty from. Like, he's born into this world not knowing anything, and then becomes a product of what he's taught. And Victor was the beginning of that. Victor was the beginning of teaching him cruelty, whereas he could have showed him compassion and kindness, and then that's what the creature would have grown up on. That's what he would have learned. That no, that's too big brain for man, too big brain for men. Like, you have big enough. Like, this is the irony. Victor Frankenstein was smart enough to create life but he was stupid not to know what to do with it. I'm not that dumb. I would have not been that stupid. I would have known what to do with it. I would. Don't even get me started. Anyway, yeah, I just think like I watched the movie and it's like when I was watching it, I was like, how stupid are you? Like that right then, like having the creature, you could have whatever you want on this earth if you had the creature. Because you can't kill him. He's like a bodyguard, a built-in bodyguard, a built-in friend, a built-in like, bro, he's stupid. Like he's actually stupid. I would have used Victor Frankenstein to not Victor the Frankenstein's creature to rob a bank, 100%. What are you gonna do? Stop me? I don't think so. I would have. Me and the creature would be unstoppable, and unstoppable force, and you can't convince me otherwise. And like m- men in general are stupid because it's the same when like fairy tales go on about like the knight slaying the dragon, and I'm like, you're stupid. You're actually stupid. Why would you slay the dragon? Why wouldn't you make friends with the dragon? Because me, I'd make friends with the dragon. I would be friends with the dragon, and then guess what? The dragon would be on my side, and then I'd have a dragon. But too pea brain, I guess, to think. I don't know. I watched like watching the movie. I was like, damn, men are stupid. They really can't see past their own ego. It's crazy. Genuinely boggles my mind. Like it's 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 right in front of you, but no. Literally, I think the thing that blinded Victor from actually seeing that is that he could tell Elizabeth liked the creature and that the creature was fascinated by Elizabeth. And that made him jealous. And so all logical thought went out the window. You know how men like to claim that they're logical and they're not. But all logical thought went out the window and he just thought, nah, I have to burn this all down just in case Elizabeth likes the creature. And to me, eventually the fact that the creature does give into rage and despair because he's all alone in this world that treats him like he's an other, like he doesn't belong. And he becomes violent and aggressive and gives into that. Doesn't surprise me because so would I. Like so would I. So why like the fact that the creature's demonized is just like, and I mean he's not really demonized in the story, he's demonized. um it's just crazy to me. And when Victor's obviously the creature starts hunting Victor down, and Victor ends up shooting Elizabeth, and then by the way, spoilers, bit late now in it, but um you should always know there's always going to be spoilers on this right here show. um and his brother basically says you're the real monster, um for sure, 100%. um I mean, I knew he was the real monster when he was messing around with dead bodies naked. Like that's when I knew he was a monster. I knew he was a monster when he got in bed with gloves on. Are we being serious? um but yeah, and to be honest, the ending is kind of sweet and cute, I guess, because um Victor kind of realizes his mistakes, albeit too late, and the damage is already done. But and to be honest, it's kind of forced you because the creature's not going to stop until Victor's dead. The creature doesn't want to kill Victor because he wants somebody to torture for the rest of his life. As in, like, because Victor won't create a another creature for the creature to love and to have somebody, then he's like, well, then I'm gonna make sure you stay with me, and I'm gonna take all my rage out on you. Then, which, yeah, um, but yeah, and I just think that part of the movie is just crazy. I think I have a quote written down here. Yeah, the creature says, then it is all about your will, the same will you created me with, and now you use to despise me. Um, and the creature vows to humble Victor that even though he is the creator, the creature will become the master. I heard that, I was like, damn, that's poetry. Um, but it's true though, and I feel like such is the arrogance and greed of man, innit? Like, he was so arrogant he created something he couldn't control, and then when he realized he couldn't control it, he seeked to destroy it. And when the creature wouldn't be controlled, Victor despised it, and when he realized he couldn't destroy it, he like abused it, which crazy. And it's just sad because in reality, yeah, it's his own stupid fault that he made the creature so much bigger and stronger than him, and just better than him in every way, and then chose to torment a creature that is superior to you in every way. And for some reason, his arrogance convinced him that he'd be able to get away with it. Like, the stupidity, honestly, like, ego makes men so incredibly stupid. Like, it really does. If when a man gives into his ego, to me, all I see is dumb. I see that you are dumb. That's it. I'm gonna leave that there. But yeah, the ending is kind of cute, though. Victor finally holds the creature's hand, which I don't know why you couldn't have done that in the beginning, like why you couldn't have shown kindness and gentleness in the beginning. Like, you would think that when Victor experienced what he experienced from his own father, that he wouldn't be the same when he grew up. But he still turned out to be exactly the same. Like, men never learn. Um, and he sought to control the creature the same way Victor's father sought to control him, like a puppet. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just crazy. But yeah, Victor finally holds the creature's hand and apologizes to him, and then he eventually calls the creature son, which is what I've been saying this whole time. It's a metaphor for father and son relationships. Um, and yeah, basically begs to hear the creature call his name again, even though that was a source of contentment that the creature could only say Victor and he wouldn't say anything else at the beginning, merely because Victor didn't give him time to learn, nor did he put any effort into teaching him anything else. Like, he just went and shouted at him every day and then got frustrated with him and left, and left him locked up. Like, I'm sorry, but how is being chained to a wall in a cellar conducive to a learning environment? Dummery. True dummery. Um, I don't really care what anybody thinks or what they're gonna say, but I do feel like the movie is a metaphor for men having children, and like I said at the beginning, um, and seeing children as something that belongs to them, as their legacy, or something that is an extension from themselves rather than their own lives and their own human beings and their own beings. And that a lot of men seek to try and control children and bend them to their will, and when they don't, because they are life that exists outside of them, they then take out anger and frustration on them, which is just so sad because it doesn't have to be like that. Like, if you are to have kids in this world, like, kids are such a blessing. Like, you have the chance to create your best friend. Like, you have the chance to create your own people who you belong with perfectly and fit together with them perfectly. And yet so many parents choose to abuse their kids. Wild to me. It's genuinely wild. Like, you have the perfect opportunity to make your best friend. Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's not even just your best friend, but you had the perfect opportunity to create your people. your village. Like, I don't get it. And then you choose to abuse them and neglect them. Why did you have kids? What was the reason in you having kids? I just like, yeah, definitely the movie was definitely a metaphor for father son, parent child relationships. Um, and a lot of men do view having children as like having a dog, like in the same way, like a lot of men want kids the same way they want a dog. Like they just want a kid as a pet. They don't really understand the responsibility of taking care of and nurturing another life, which I feel like men should, like that should be so much more important. Men need to be aware of the effort that it takes to raise children and nurture a life, to be honest. Um, in conclusion, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was very well done. It's a very visually pleasing movie to watch, like all the colors and the sets and the costumes and the makeup and even the actors, like they're all very visually appealing characters to look at. Their acting is amazing. I felt like each actor embodied their character perfectly and really gave them like life and personality. um a lot of the colors that you see in the movie, like the way the colors are, especially like Elizabeth's clothes, very stunning. Like again, it's just a visually pleasing movie. um I honestly think Mary Shelley is a genius. um from writing the original Frankenstein, the fact that that work is still being talked about and is still relevant today just shows how timeless and classic and how smart she truly was. How she really understood a specific feeling that it's still relevant today. Um, and I think that's a testament to her intelligence, really. Um, and how relevant the same things are, the same topics and the conversations that were being had back then, we're still having them now. um and you find that in art, everything goes around and comes around. um but yeah, like I said, to me the creature in the movie kind of represents anyone who is othered in society. Like it could be children, women, people with disabilities, people who struggle with mental health conditions. Alright, and with that, I think we have come towards the end of this episode. Um, I hope you had a fun time ranting with me about Victor Frankenstein and the creature that he creates and pretty women who wear pretty clothes. Um, Remember, this is all in good fun and just my opinions. So if you have other opinions or you don't agree with my opinions, feel free to let me know in the comments what you think or all about your opinions. That's totally fine. Um, but yeah, I think this is the right time to say that if you want to hear about a romance book with a sexy merman in it, uh, tune into next week's episode because that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about a book called Whispers in the Deep. More like Whispers in My Deep. I hate myself. Anyway, um, yeah, we're going to be talking about a book called Whispers in the Deep next week. And I think it's going to be a pretty good episode if I'm going to be honest with you. Um, Yeah, it's a merman book. So clearly there's a theme of non-human men, attractive non-human men. Um, and there'll probably be many more to come on this channel slash podcast slash show. But yeah, don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Mazzy underscore mayhem. Please and thank you. I would much appreciate if you followed me and subscribed to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. But yeah, I'll don't forget to stay pretty and stay dangerous. But I'll speak to you soon. Bye.